Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Beluga and welcome to the second episode of Why Did I Lose? In this episode, I'll be playing Vi. If you want to see runes, masteries, or how to use skills or anything like that, I'll leave a link on the screen right now to my in-depth Vi guide, and I recommend you check that out before this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so here we are loading into the game. And as always, when you're loading into a game, you want to take a look at your team and the enemy team, and then try to plan out your early game. So as far as ganking goes, the enemy team has a Vlad mid, and he's pretty hard to gank, mainly because if the Vlad plays it correctly, he can always W Vi's Q, and if he does that, then it's going to be almost impossible to gank until level 6. Their top laner is Riven. Once again, she's really slippery, but she's a little bit easier to gank than Vlad, I would say. And then finally, their bot lane, they have Lulu and Caitlyn. Lulu is pretty easy to kill, but Caitlyn will be kind of slippery, plus Lulu's really good at saving Caitlyn. So overall, the easiest target for me to gank is probably Lulu, and I should probably tend to focus bot lane. So here we go. I bought a Hunter's Machete, health pots, and a yellow ward, as always. And I'm probably just going to go either ward or... Yeah, I throw in a ward to see if they're invading or anything. Oh yeah, let me... We're on blue team, and I don't want to see chat. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my W at level 1 since I saw that they weren't invading and everything's pretty normal. My bot lane's going to give me a leash. You smite at the beginning of Krugs, so you stun more often, and then you just auto-attack them. Now, here comes the important part. Vi does have an auto reset, so I'm going to auto, and then immediately after that ends, I'm going to use my E. Alright, I did it on the second one, sorry. But you guys saw. Let's rewind it and do it again. So I'm gonna auto it. I auto it again, and then I immediately E, and that's gonna mean that I get an auto off. I get 2 autos off practically in the time it would take for 1. So you're just going to keep doing that. Makes your clear a lot easier. I'm going to clear this, and then I'm going to go up to my blue because I want to try to get some early ganks off because Vi is a ganking champion. She does well if you get ganks off a lot, and if you don't get any ganks off, you're kind of wasted your kit because she's so oriented towards ganking. So I'm going to clear this blue. Look for a gank. Vlad's out of place mid, so I'm going to try to gank him, but then he has a lot of movement speed and he's just going to run away. I do scare him off a little bit, and then their bot lane comes, but I wasn't really worried about it because Vlad doesn't have any hard CC and I have my Q up, so I just Q away from that. I didn't have to blow a summon or anything, and it's fine. I'm going to keep jungling, clear my Krugs, I'm going to go clear my Raptors. Oh yeah, one thing you need to note on Vi is you want to position your Q to where you can hit all the monsters at once. It's possible on every single camp, and I'm going to do it right here. And then that's just going to pull them all in together. 1, it's going to damage all of them, and 2, it's going to make your E really easy to hit on all of the rest. So, oh whoops, a backspace. But that's all you need to know for that. Just position your Q always to where you can hit all 4 monsters, or 3, however many they are. And I'm going to keep jungling. I'm going to go ahead and clear my Gromp here too, because I can, and I'm low. And then I'm going to clear this Scuttle, just because I could. So, I'm going to go back, and I decided I wanted to go Cinderhulk this game, because our team didn't have a really hard tank. And Cinderhulk Vi still does plenty of damage. So I go back, I get a I get a Stalker's Blade and a Ruby Crystal and Boots of Speed. I probably shouldn't have bought Boots of Speed here. Usually, in almost all cases, it's better to not buy boots and just hurry up and get your jungle item, and then you can buy boots after that. So that was one mistake I made. Here, I come bot lane, and I'm trying to look for a gank. I don't think the enemy bot lane has it warded, but Jinx is shoving really hard using her rockets to push the wave, so I'm not going to be able to get anything off here. So I'm going to have to end up leaving, and this was a big waste of my time, unfortunately. But yeah, Thresh tries to lantern me in, but either their bot lane knew I was there, or part of it was also our bot lane was pushing so much. So I'm going to go back to jungling, once again position my Q to make sure I hit all the camps. First blood finally goes down at 7 minutes in the game, Renekton dies to Riven, and then unfortunately my Lux also dies to Vlad. So just from that, my team's already pretty behind. I'm going to keep jungling because obviously there's no one to gank. Bot lane just recalled and both my solo lanes just died. I go ahead and find a pink and I clear it, and then I saw that Lulu placed this ward. So I'm going to go back in with my red trinket, but I didn't have sight of Zac or Lulu at this point. I figured Lulu was around, but I wasn't thinking about Zac. I think Zac jumps on me No, maybe that's later. Sorry. Sorry for spoiling. So I'm gonna go back to jungling once again. Hit my Q on everything I can. Vlad is... I don't know how this happens. Oh, okay. Riven comes down from top, and then because of that, Vlad's gonna be able to kill the Lux. I'm gonna come in and ult the Vlad because I wanted... Honestly, the best case scenario came out. Lux got this kill. I didn't care if I got the kill on Vlad or not. I just wanted to make sure that he died. But since all I did was knock him up and do a little bit of damage, if my ult had finished, I would have got that kill, even if the turret took it. But since my ult had only begun, Lux got that kill, and I got an assist, which is fine with me. I'm glad Lux got the assist. Once again, I'm going Center Hulk, so it's better for my team to get money than for me, necessarily. So I go ahead and wave clear mid. I'm just going to reset the wave because it was pushing into our turret, and if I don't clear it, the turret's going to, so I might as well clear it myself, and then I'm going to go back to jungling. Make sure my Q hits all the monsters, and do that. I'm going to give my blue to Lux because even though she's kind of struggling, I'm hoping with this blue she'll be able to kite or to zone the Vlad off, and I don't really need it. It'd be good, but I don't necessarily need it. So right now my team is down in kills and both of my solo lanes are losing, so I should be trying to focus bot, and when you think about it, Zach's probably going to want to focus bot too because both of his solo lanes are already winning. So Zach actually does come in to gank bot. They managed to live the Zach gank. Renekton teleports in for some reason. He couldn't have saved them from Zach if Zach had wanted to kill him anyways with Zach's ult. And then they're going to get into a fight when they think Zach is left. Zach's going to start walking back down, and they're not going to be able to get much for it, and we lose our turret top. So, all in all, Renekton probably could have just hung out top. He didn't really have to come in, but that's okay. Zach's going to run away, and I'm going to walk up, I think, to make sure everyone lives, because I really didn't agree with this Renekton teleport or anything that he's doing, because, you know, nothing seems to be going our way. I'm going to come in and try to save this Renekton. He's going to die to the Caitlyn, and I'm just going to try to CC someone. I go ahead and hit the Zach. Oh yeah, the Zach was about to jump, I think, so I played that pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, so here the Zach's going for a leap, so I'm going to go ahead and interrupt his jump with my Q, just to try to save my Jinx a little more. But then Jinx walks back in, and her walking back in is just going to make sure that... just going to put her at more risk. Alright, at this point, I could flash over the wall, but I do ult the Lulu because I think that Lux is going to be able to kill her with Lux's ultimate. However, the Lulu is pretty smart, and she flashes as soon as she lands from my ultimate. That means Lux not going to be able to hit anyone with hers, and then now I'm in a bad spot. I do manage to knock both of them back with your Q. I have said before, if two champions are right next to each other, you can knock back multiple ones with your Q. And then Vlad hits his ult on me. As soon as Vlad hits his ult, I was dead either way, but Caitlyn's going to harass me a little bit, and then I'm going to run back up here. I didn't have anywhere to go at this point. What I did wrong was just simply not flashing over. Even if we had killed the Lulu, it was still a 3v... Well, it would have been a 3v3 then. It started out as a 3v4, so... All in all, that was one of the first really big mistakes I made this game. I shouldn't be trying to force 3v4s with my team, you know? Just take the wins that you can and play a little more safe. So my team isn't going to be able to kill Vlad here, which is pretty good. Lux was actually doing not so bad. She did die early, but other than that, she has both the kills on our team, so she's doing okay. I'm going to go back to jungling, I think. Actually, I'm going to run mid because I didn't want Lux to die to this Riven. Riven's being really threatening. And then I'm going to Q in and smite the Riven. I do have Chilling Smite, so that's going to slow her a little bit and allow my team to catch up. Renekton comes with the cutoff, and then we're able to get another kill. So this past minute has been pretty good for our team, but overall, we're not doing that well. What I need to be doing right now is clearing all of my jungle and then probably trying to help Jinx some more. I am going to go straight to my red though, unfortunately. Going straight to my red is going to mean I'm able to go bot sooner, but now that Thresh is bot, I don't even really need to be bot. I'm kind of hanging around looking for a gank. This isn't warded, I checked it, but I also don't have sight of Vlad at this point, Zach, and even Riven, even though she doesn't have teleport. So I'm wasting a lot of time here. This is double speed, and I'm just sitting here. This is all bad, waste of time, but that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about what I did wrong. I do get a Thresh Lantern in once Caitlyn finally pushes up, is what I was trying to wait for. There, I ult the Caitlyn because I figure that we're going to kill the Lulu, which we do kill her. And then I go ahead and hit the Caitlyn a little bit more, and we get a kill on her. And then Jinx hit some good... Hold on. Jinx hits a good snare on the Zac, which makes sure that I'm not going to get CC'd by him. But then we see Vlad coming in. I'm going to go ahead and run into the Vlad. I just want to keep him away from my Jinx at this point. I do miss my Q on him, but he doesn't ult me either, so I'm still doing okay. I'm going to auto the Vlad as much as I can. My Lux comes in with a really good binding and then her ult, and then we're able to clean that up. So actually, my team's making a really good comeback right now. And I could have cleared my whole jungle instead of just waiting this tri-bush the whole time, but that gank did actually go very well, so it wasn't necessarily a bad gank. It was just a lot of wasted time before the gank. So now me and Lux are going to get the dragon. We now have a dragon, so we're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, here's that mistake I talked about earlier. I see the Lulu here. I see that she just warded, so I'm going to kill this and come clear her ward. She's going to come harass me, and then she figured I was going to come. Zac's there to help her, and they're just going to be able to CC me until I'm dead. So, once again, that was one of those moments where I kind of underestimated my opponents, and I went too aggro without having sight of anything. So that's going to result in me dying. Now, the enemy team is doing our Krugs here, and we see that. And I'm going to try to capitalize on it. Lulu is a pretty easy target to kill, so I'm going to go ahead and flash. I would have hit my Q if Thresh hadn't hooked, but then he hits the hook, it messes up my flash. I'm going to go ahead and auto her down because I want to make sure we get a kill out of this. I ult onto the Zac, or maybe it was the Vlad. I ult onto one of these to get back into the fight, and then Zac ults and he knocks me back. So then I have to leave. I have very low HP. My team's doing okay. I'm just going to have to run away at this point because I don't have any HP. And they stick around to try to kill the Zac, but unfortunately Zac just had too much peel with his Caitlyn and Vlad. So overall that went pretty bad, and I don't know why I'm here. I know that in-game I was looking bot. I don't know why I was sitting here. Maybe to try to catch Caitlyn coming up here. But then apparently Zac had it warded, so I'm just a sitting duck. I wasn't looking at my screen like I said. And Zac's just going to run up and eat me. I even had sight of him. If I had been paying any attention, I could have easily dodged that, but it's another mistake. I wasn't looking at my screen. And honestly, I might have been tilting a little bit at this point. I don't know. The match was pretty frustrating because I was in 7 of the 8 kills for our team. And when you're doing that, I did waste some time, but I have been doing my best, and it does frustrate you. But you got to just kind of shove all that down and play the game how you're going to play it. Here we know that Riven, see we have sight right here, so we know that she's doing wolves. So I pinged my team to come help me at wolves, because she's a pretty easy kill if she's doing my wolves. I'm going to go ahead and Q onto her. I luckily hit it. That was honestly complete luck. I didn't necessarily expect to hit it, but I do hit her with it. Renekton's going to go up in case she tries to dash over the wall, and then me and Lux and Thresh are going to be able to finish her off. So now Lux is 4-2-3, her score is not bad, and what I should be doing at this point is just trying to keep getting Lux fed. Lux did buy a Magi, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it could turn out for the best if she gets a lot of stacks. I'm going to go back to clearing my jungle right now. I give my Jinx to Red. I give my Red to Jinx just because I am Cinderhulk Vi, so I'm trying to play more for my team than for myself, which honestly isn't always the best way to win in solo queue. But that's what I was doing this game. Give it to Jinx, and I'm going to try to clear any of my jungle, but none of it's alive, so I go back. I'm working towards Black Cleaver now, because even when you're playing Cinderhulk Vi, you don't want to be able to be ignored, so you usually want to get Black Cleaver just to do that extra amount of damage that means you're a threat. I come in, I was thinking about queuing the Zac, but then Thresh had a lantern, so I'm just going to take that instead. I'm going to get some damage down on the Zac, but not anything too serious. Riven comes in with her ult, and I go ahead and ult her immediately because I didn't want her to snag a kill on Jinx. She does kill the Thresh, but that's not my biggest concern necessarily. I get out of this fight with very low HP, but then Zac jumps in the back to try to finish me off, which is fine. I'm not going to die to him. I come back in to CC him because I wasn't sure if he had his passive or not. And then me coming back in means I'm going to die to Vlad. Jinx being squishy as crap means she's going to die to Vlad. And then Renekton dashing in means he's going to die to Vlad. So Vlad got a free triple kill there. I don't know if I could have saved Jinx and Renekton, but I definitely could have not died to Vlad. I had no reason to dash back into this Zac. I might have been doing it at kill steal, but I really think I was doing it because I thought his passive was up. So once again, just a lot of my mistakes this game came from me underestimating the enemy team. So when you in solo queue, you gotta have the mindset that if something looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And you know, you just gotta assume that your enemies. If you can't see them, you should always assume your enemies are there. Here I come top for a free gank on Riven because she was in my jungle again, and then my Q and ult plus Renekton's W means that Riven CC'd for a really long time, so we get a free kill on her. That's all fine and nice, but our team is still very, very behind at this point. We're going to need a couple of miracles to win. Unfortunately, my Jinx is solo pushing versus the Vlad. She didn't necessarily start pushing versus the Vlad, but the Vlad shows up, and then Jinx is going to die to him because there's no way Jinx could 1v1 Vlad at this point. I'm going to come top because once again, Riven's way out of place. I ult onto her. Right, let's watch this again. A lot of stuff happened. So she's way out of place. I'm going to ult onto her. I know that she can dash over the wall if she gets her third dash. She goes ahead and flashes over. I'm going to start my Q and then flash. Remember, when you want to flash Q as Vi, you hold down the Q and then flash with it. Once again, another easy way to remember this is that you can move while you're holding your Q, so why wouldn't you be able to flash while you're holding your Q? So I flash over, and then I hit my Q on her immediately because I'm still holding it. It's a pretty easy hit by them. But then I didn't notice she had her whole team here, so I'm going to have to take the Thresh Lantern out. I don't want to get executed by Riven. She goes ahead and throws it at me. It doesn't do very much damage, so I'm going to try to come back in. Lux hit a really good snare on Riven, and then I hit another long distance Q, and that's going to be a kill for our team. Then Lux manages to hit a snare on the Caitlyn, and she's going to die too. So everything's looking really good for this trade at least. We chase the Lulu a little bit, but then Zac comes in to ult us all off and save Lulu, and then we got to stop Vlad from killing our base. I go back to try to clear this pink ward because I noticed they had a pink, but then Lulu and Zac are there, and I'm not going to make the same mistake I made at Dragon Pit, so I'm going to leave them alone and go back to jungling. As far as item builds go, just looking at the enemy team, Vlad is super fed. He's 10-3. Caitlyn's okay, and Riven are okay, so they do have an AD threat. You know, you could imagine this is 6 kills towards AD and then 14 towards AP. So they have a lot more AP threat. I should be building a Banshees next after my Black Cleaver. But I think I actually go into Deadman's, yeah. I go into Deadman's because, well, one, I just wasn't thinking properly in the game. And then two, I do like Deadman's a lot on Vi, and it is very good on Vi. But when you have an enemy AP carry that has 10 kills, then you need to be building Magic Resist immediately. So that's something I did wrong. Also, my Thresh didn't have a... Oh yeah, I got stolen from Zac. We'll talk about that in a sec. Thresh also didn't have a locket. He didn't buy a locket this game. So I could be working towards that. Like I said in the in-depth guide, it's not the best item on Vi, but it is fine, especially when your support isn't building it. Zac's going to come over, and I was trying to give this to Lux. But then Zac comes over to contest it. I'm going to hit it a few times. Me and Zac both actually... Let's see. Sorry about this. I don't think me or Zac hit a very quick smite. I'm pretty sure it took a while for him to smite, and I could have smited it, but I did it alright. But I don't know. I could have secured that if I was really paying attention, but I was more trying to give it to Lux and keep it myself. But it would definitely have been better for me to take it and to give it to Zac for free. Caitlyn's going to try to burst me down, but I am really tanky even with the Vlad ult on me, so I'm going to be able to live her ult, but then Vlad's ult's going to kill me because, once again, I don't have any magic resist, even though he has 11 kills at this point. I'm going to die. Caitlyn's going to kill Renekton. I think he was trying to dive the back line, and then at this point it's kind of a slaughter. Riven's pushing our base, and they have an advantage top even though they're all kind of low. Because our team's just lower. They weren't all low, Zac was low. So... Riven's gonna get our inhib, and at this point the game is pretty hopeless. I don't like to sugarcoat things. As far as this match goes, you can win any game. Don't get me wrong, any game is winnable, but you also gotta know when a game is pretty much gonna be lost, right? This game is one of those. As far as what I could be doing to fix it, one, I need to be building a locket like right now, like maybe even selling my chain vest to work towards a locket. Two, we already have a dragon, so we don't have to worry about this dragon. No one on our team needs to be dying for this dragon, including me. Let's see what happens. So I started the dragon for some reason, just because I wasn't thinking properly in this game. Since you already have one dragon, that's something that I should say. Since you have a dragon, you don't have to worry about any more. Well, we're on this side, but anyways, if you have the first dragon, The only dragon that you need to worry about after that is if the enemy's getting the 5th dragon. Once you have one dragon, you can just sit on it and push different objectives while they secure their dragons. But unfortunately, I tried to finish it off, and then I'm gonna die. Once again, there was another case where I think I could have secured the dragon, but I just wasn't thinking properly, and at this point I'm playing kind of poorly, to be honest. So, go ahead and zoom in on me. I'm building a ruby crystal, probably into Dead Man's Plate still, but Dead Man's Plate was an awful idea to build next. I should have definitely gotten, even though I didn't have any armor, magic resist would have still been a lot better when they have this many kills on AP, right? But now, at this point, I think, yeah, our Thresh and Lux died after I died, which is understandable because I wasn't alive to save them, and then the enemy team's just going to be able to push in and end the game. So, a lot of stuff this game, a lot of my mistakes, like I said, stemmed from me underestimating my enemies and not expecting them to be there. You know, I played too aggro when I didn't have sight, and then near the end I didn't build properly. I didn't gank the correct lane. When we loaded into this game, I said bot lane would be the best to gank, but I spent a lot of time mid. That's fine. Once Lux got fed, I should have kept spending all my time mid. And then when my team did manage to win some fights, I didn't do a good job of pushing the lead after that. So, overall, I wasn't very impressed with my own gameplay this game, but I did learn a lot. Even just commentating just now, I learned a lot that I could have fixed. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.